Bonjour, je m'appelle Madison. J'apprends le français. So I just said hi, my name is Madison and I'm learning French. So far, the resources that I've been using have been French with Alexa, which is mainly, it's a video, it's a YouTube series. And I found that that's helped me the best, especially with my pronunciation and grammar and things like that. I've also used a resource called learnwitholiver.com, and that is it's a flashcard system. So you can choose if you want to do words or sentences. You can choose what level you're on, like beginner. They have like a beginner, intermediate, and so on. And so you can, like I said, you can choose words or sentences. And I've just been doing words for the most part. I've done some sentences, but I've found it very difficult to get them right. But I do like that website a lot because it shows how everything's supposed to be written and grammar-wise. And then I have been using Google Translate somewhat just because some words I can't find how to pronounce and I need to know how to pronounce them, even though I don't think Google Translate is that much of a reliable source, I guess, just because you will hear Google Translate say something kind of wonky in like Spanish or something, and you know it's not correct. So far I've found that learning French is pretty, it's not hard, but it's not easy. I think it's very similar to Spanish. I took 3 years of Spanish in high school, and a lot of the ways that it's set up and a lot of the ways that the grammar is and like how a lot of words like door and mat and things can be masculine or feminine. It's reminded me of Spanish a lot, and I didn't really do that good in Spanish. I mean, I didn't do awful, but it was definitely challenging learning everything, so I definitely had to put in effort. Some theories that I've found most relatable into my learning process. I found all of them relatable so far, but the ones that have stood out so far to me have been the critical period hypothesis. I definitely see how age has an effect, and I realized that I think when I was trying to learn Spanish also because it was in high school, so it was later on in my life, and I had a hard time then, and I knew learning French would be difficult for me now. So I'm not really surprised. I mean, that's been a challenge to me. I was interested in learning about what the hypothesis is and stuff because it makes total sense and it's very relatable. Another one is language transfer. So like I said, I've noticed how Spanish and French are easily related. So it's helped in some ways, and then it's been like, oh yeah, I kind of remember learning that in Spanish class in high school. And so it's been kind of difficult, kind of hard, kind of easy. And then the last theory that I have found has been the effective filter theory from Krashen. So I do not really have that much confidence in my pronunciation, and it makes me nervous to like make these videos and stuff because I know I sound weird. So I like practice saying it out loud for like 30 minutes before I make the video, and I can definitely see where I think it was in module 3 where we were learning about how anxiety plays a big role in learning a second language. I can see how that is very prominent because I am getting nervous whenever I have to make these videos where I've shown what I've learned so far or like what I'm comfortable saying so far, because I'm thinking I'm going to pronounce things wrong. And I'm sure I do pronounce things wrong, and it's just because I really have only ever spoken English my whole life, but so far that is what I have been able to most relate. So that's what I've done so far. Thanks. So writing-wise, I haven't really progressed that much from the last video that we did. I've noticed more how in sentences, how things are placed, if that makes sense, and how similar it is to Spanish. So, for example, in my last video, how I put the pronouns like je is I, tu is yo, you, singular. Il, ella, un is he, she, or oneself. Nous, nous is we. Vous is the plural version of you. And then ils, is they. So, for example, whenever there is a sentence and it's put in like il en tu coise, that is he is still here. So how the he is the il, the first word in the sentence, and then there is ella ha peur de sur, and that is she is afraid of mice. So the e is a she, and then la maison est un feu. So the house is on fire. So how I in Spanish how there are like singular and masculine to each object, like the house, la maison is feminine because it's la.